3-1 in 6 career starts against the New York Mets. Matter of fact, his strikeout to walk ratio this season, 3rd best in the senior circuit. So it'll be game 1 between the Mets and the Braves coming up. If you're a Dish Network customer in the metro Atlanta area, unfortunately you won't see tonight's game. Dish Network will not air tonight's game and possibly up to 46 other Braves games this season in the metro Atlanta area. If you don't want to miss any more Atlanta Braves games this season on Fox Sports South and Sports South, contact Dish Network today at 1-800-333-DISH. To see if you're affected, you can go to foxsportssouth.com/alert. For the rest of you, stay tuned for tonight's exciting matchup.
Of Fox Sports.
We are Fox. We are South.
On a cool night at the TED, the Braves open up a 3-game set against Mr. Met. Terry Collins' squad has one of the hottest players in baseball at the plate, catcher John Buck. The Braves get to meet the Mets for the first time as these National League Eastern rivals begin their season series tonight. From beautiful Turner Field in Atlanta, it's time for Braves baseball. Happy Friday evening, everybody. Tonight we begin a weekend series with our Eastern Division rivals from the Big Apple. The Mets are in town for the first time, and all the excitement of Braves baseball is coming your way right now. Hi again, friends. Along with Braves Hall of Famer Dale Murphy and Joe Simpson, I'm Chip Carey. Braves just wrapped up a 4-game series with the Washington Nationals. They split that 4-game set, and now Murph got to get the bats going against the New York Mets, a team they've dominated in seasons past.
That's right, Chip. A little bit of struggle the last 8 games. We've been 2-6 the last 8 games. The average is only, as you can see on this graphic here, average is only last 8 games 207. And we've only hit 4 home runs, Joe, so we got to turn that around.
Well, and earlier in the season when they were hitting a ton of home runs, Dale, the pitching was kind of covering up all those strikeouts and maybe a lack of runs. But in recent days, despite the fact that Mahalam and Medlin both pitched well enough to win the last 2 days, the pitching hasn't been quite as good as it was at the beginning. So the offense has got to help pick up some of the slack.
Mike Minor's the man that gets the ball for the Braves tonight. Sean Markham is the starter for the New York Mets. They are on a slide, too. They've dropped 6 of their last 7 ball games. But it's a new season series. It starts tonight. David Wright and the Mets are in town to face the Braves in Game 1. And we'll get to our lineups right after this. A breezy night again at Turner Field as we have the Mets in town for Game 1 of a weekend series. Terry Collins' New York Mets come in at 11-15, 5 games behind the Braves in the East. Their Toyota lineup has Ruben Tejada leading off. Danny Murphy, a Braves pest, is at second base. David Wright's been battling a sore neck. We talked about John Buck, their cleanup man. Turner, Duda, Marlon Bird, Andrew Brown, and Wright, and Sean Markham, the pitcher, bats ninth.
On the mound for the Braves will be Mike Minor for his 6th start of the year. Good splits home and road. At home, 1-1 with a 1.35 ERA and a very low batting average against. He did lose his last outing at Detroit, 6 2/3 innings, 6 runs. By far his most costly outing in terms of ERA, but still a 3.13 ERA overall.
And he'll face Ruben Tejada to start the game for New York. He's their shortstop. And Mike's first pitch of the night is down and in for ball 1. Popped up down the right field line. Long run, Jordan Schaefer near the line. Can't get there. The ball played trick Swift by the wind. And the throw to second is not in time. Jordan kept coming and coming and coming and couldn't handle it at the line. Tejadas at second.
Normally this ball is going to slice probably into foul territory, which is where he was headed, but the wind pushed it back.
Yeah, you're right, Joe. You always expect that ball to kind of make that little loop and go the other way.
It'll be a double.
And it looked like Jordan Schaefer was kind of running in that direction, that it was going to end up in foul territory. And ended up not getting even a glove on it. Wind is howling tonight.
So fluky start for Mike Minor. He's got Tejada at second and Danny Murphy out. And Murphy looks at a ball low. His average 295, a couple of homers, 13 driven in. Murphy, a very patient hitter for New York. This one popped up on the infield. Juan Francisco at third base. Wind pushes that ball near the line. And Francisco's got that for the first out.
Good job against a tough hitter who can pull the ball, but he jammed him. His 4 keys to pitching success tonight. Well, some early run support would go a long way. Braves haven't scored any early runs in quite a while, so giving Mike a little breathing room would help. And there have been nights where his change up has worked well and his curve didn't, and vice versa. Maybe you can get them both working tonight and really dazzle the Mets. 3-1 lifetime against him with a pretty high ERA.
David Wright back in the lineup for New York. He's been plagued by a sore neck. That's some extra inning affairs down in Miami, and out of necessity, Wright had to play. They had hoped to give him Wednesday off, but New York had a 6-game losing streak, and Wright insisted he play in that game. He responded with 3 hits, including a home run, as New York beat the Marlins and then had yesterday off to rest the neck here in Atlanta.
And he has been outstanding hitting with runners in scoring position. 12 for 26 already on the year and 20 RBIs. And you know, especially early in the season until John Buck began to come around, teams were pitching around him.
Quickly 2 strikes.
I was thankful for the chance to be involved in the World Baseball Classic and have David Wright on our team. Really hurt us when he got hurt. He was really one of our only hot hitter we had, and classy guy. It's a lot of fun to get to know him. Our last couple games with him out, his spot in the lineup just kept coming up with guys on base, and we couldn't come through with any big hits.
And the dirt. Nice stop by Evan Gattis. Right now a 2-2 count.
Well, the Mets did the right thing. They stepped up in the offseason and signed him to a very lucrative long-term contract, as they should have. Nobody was happier about that besides David Wright than his skipper Terry Collins.
Yeah, David signed through the 2020 season for the Mets. And that says a lot, I think, about the character of David Wright, too. The Mets have had a bunch of rough years in a row. He could have gone out to free agency and gone to greener pastures, but I'm guessing, Joe and Dale, he wants to see this thing through and get the Mets back to the top of the division.
Yeah, no one would have blamed him for going to.
No.
With the chaos they've had, he's been kind of one constant that they've had on that ball club.
Line drive caught by Simmons, who gave ground it short. He took away a hit from David Wright.
That ball wasn't hit very well, but just like last night, there's a pretty stiff breeze blowing in. That even looked like it had a little top spin, too.
Yeah, and top spin and went away from him. Unusual spin coming from a right-hander hitting the ball up the middle.
It was just, I mean, you're going to have to, if you want to hit one out to right tonight, you need to hit it from shallow right field. Start there.
Here's John Buck. What a start for the Mets catcher. And he unloads on the very first pitch and drives that ball deep left. Justin Upton will turn and wave, and it is gone. On cue, John Buck hits the first pitch he sees tonight out of the park. And the Mets strike with 2 outs and lead 2-0.
Here's a guy, Joe, that's done well the last few years, has established himself, got out of Miami, and now is swinging with a lot of confidence.
But you know what, Dale? I think the Mets got him because the Blue Jays in that deal kind of had to take him as part of the deal when some of those stars went to Toronto, and all of a sudden they get him. The Mets get him. He's really their only choice to catch, and he's having a career year in 6 weeks. Last year he hit 190.
So talk about bang for your buck. He's our Wendy's Now That's Better feature.
12 home runs all last year.
Now Justin Turner drives the ball to left. Justin will have room at the edge of the warning track. A mammoth home run for John Buck, his 10th of the season. He extends his RBI lead in the National League to 29. Just like that, the Mets jump in front in the first inning. Run homer for the Mets. Now the Braves take aim at Sean Markham with this Toyota starting lineup. It's presented by Braves manager Freddie Gonzalez. Schaefer, Simmons, then Justin Upton. Freeman, Gattis, Dan Uggla the middle of the attack. B.J. Upton, Juan Francisco gets the start with the righty on the mound, and of course Minor hits ninth.
And that's Sean Markham, 31 years old, 6 feet, 195, out of Excelsior, Missouri. Since 2006, he's got great numbers in the month of May, a 2.65 ERA that's the best in the major leagues. Great whip on opponent's batting average, and he features everything. This is his second start, but he has been really plagued by injuries the last couple of years. He will throw the kitchen sink and everything else tonight, and if they get 5+ out of him tonight, I think they'll be very happy.
Markham's last outing was in relief. As we mentioned, an extra inning game. He was forced into duty for the Mets.
And that's another reason. That was Monday night.
Schaefer reaches and rolls one foul past first. 1 and 2 strikes.
Fastball in the high 80s. A changeup, curveball, slider, cutter, and anything else he can come up with tonight that might work.
Yeah, Joe, talking to guys around the cage, they said exactly what you're saying. Could throw anything at any time. The left or right-handed hitter doesn't matter. Everything's coming.
That's a fun guy to prepare for, isn't it?
No.
No, it's tough. It's it's one of those things you just make sure you're not too pull happy against this guy.
Rolled toward first, and that is a foul ball. We'll do it again.
Can't get pull happy because the chances of him throwing a fastball by you aren't that great. So look the other way. Probably going to get some off-speed stuff, even when you're in hitters' counts. And if he happens to throw a fastball, you know, you almost want to. I never like to look off-speed stuff and then try to hit the fastball. But this is a guy you can almost do that. Look off-speed and adjust to the fastball, which is kind of hidden backwards, but he kind of pitches backwards, as they say, as well. So be interesting. It's been a little bit of a challenge, the Braves, the last few games, making adjustments to guys that you should go the other way with.
As the outside corner, Jordan paddles back to a full count.
And if you can just make yourself think about the middle of the diamond.
Yeah.
You'll go from there.
Good way to approach it.
Jordan earns a leadoff walk.
Buck was about to throw that one to third base with a strikeout.
Yes, he was.
Good call by John Tumpane. Is that how you say that? Rookie umpire.
So Schaefer's at first. Andrelton Simmons, the Braves batter, looking for his first hit in 9 at-bats. See if the Braves try to employ the running game with Schaefer at first to try to jumpstart this offense. Big hole on the right side for Simmons. If he can poke a ball that way. Good lead at first. Not going. And a fast strike.
I like that thought, though, Chip. Be aggressive. Let's watch for some hit and run opportunities. And I like Andrelton hitting 1 or 2. I know he's kind of been all over the place. His average isn't quite where he wants it, but he is still a good contact guy. Good bunter. Doesn't mind taking pitches if guys want to run. Good hit and run guy, too.
Buck's done a good job behind the plate. He's caught 5 of 15 base stealers this year for the Mets.
He's doing everything.
I'll say. And he's done it so far tonight. Already a 2-run homer. To second. And Tejada turns the double play. Simmons doubled up. Bases are empty for Justin Upton and 2 outs in the first. Here's a look at the rest of the Mets defensive lineup. Lucas Duda's in left. Atlanta's Marlon Bird is in center. David Wright and Justin Turner the corner men. Tejada and Murphy are at short and second respectively.
Andrew Brown in right field just called up today. 27-year-old journeyman. They sent Colin Cowgill back to AAA.
That was one big question for the Mets, is what kind of production would they get from their outfield this year? And we'll see the rest of the weekend what Terry Collins' outfield crew can do. 1-0 to Justin. Justin's cooled a bit at the plate, 2 for his last 13, but still leads the National League with 12 homers and for Atlanta 19 RBIs. And facing a club against which he's had a great deal of success. That's our Georgia lottery hitting the jackpot.
Check out that on base percentage, 435.
skipped up there. Full count.
The double play certainly helped Sean Markham in his efforts tonight to try to have short, quick innings, given that he has not pitched much. He was on the DL for right bicep tendonitis. Last year was on the DL with Milwaukee with some elbow problems, and he'd already had Tommy John surgery back in 2008.
When he's right, this guy's a real good pitcher. He's had 3 seasons of 10 or more wins. Even with those injuries, was 7-4 last year. Popped up behind first. Long run, Turner. Murphy goes out there as well, and a nice grab by Turner in foul ground and nearing the tarp. Nothing doing for the Braves in the bottom of the first inning. It's 2-0. The Mets lead in game 1. The game tonight. Buy a season ticket package starting at 16 games for as low as $152, and you get the full set of 2013 Braves bobbleheads plus the 2012 Chipper Jones bobblehead. The offer is good tonight only, so call right now at 404-577-9100. Lucas Duda takes ball 1, and taking pitches, Joe, has been this man's specialty for the Mets this year.
He's among major league leaders in pitches seen in an at-bat. And many times criticized for taking pitches like 1-0 fastballs for strikes, 2-0 fastballs for strikes, and not being more aggressive, because he's got some pop.
And now he's behind the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Second behind the catcher for the Dodgers, A.J. Ellis.
Man, I have a hard time understanding that, taking so many first pitches.
Well, out of 100 first pitches this year for Duda, he swung at 9 of those 100.
Man, I never came close to that. I don't know what my pitches for a bat was. Probably had some season was 2.
Fly ball, that's well hit. Left center field. B.J. Upton going back. That ball is going to carry out of here. Second homer of the night for the Mets, 6th for Duda, and New York leads 3-0.
I don't want to take anything away from either one of these guys that have hit homers, but the way the wind is blowing, certainly going to knock down anything to right field, but that ball almost looked like it got in a jet stream of some sort.
Yeah, I agree with you, Joe. Left field, the wind is definitely helping, and right field, you could always see with the pop-up Jordan Schaefer tried to catch. It's hurting to right, but helping to left.
So all of a sudden, this Mets ball club, which had had so much trouble scoring runs in the last 2.5 weeks, we've scored 3 runs on 3 hits, and we're only in the 2nd inning. tight to Marlon Bird. 1 ball, 1 strike.
One of the things Terry Collins told me in spring training was he wasn't sure what they were going to do to fill their 3 spots in the outfield. He said, we've kind of got 2 choices. We can go lousy defense and good offense, or the other way.
Francisco at third, loads up and gets Marlon Bird for the first out.
And I think they've kind of done a combination of that, at least here in the early going. And whatever Lucas Duda is doing, say that a few times in a row, it's working. 6 homers now, 9 RBIs. That ball really took off when it got into the outfield.
So here is Andrew Brown, originally a St. Louis Cardinal, spent some time with the Rockies. At AAA, was an AAA All-Star at Colorado Springs. And yes, you read that graphic correctly. The Mets AAA team this year is in Las Vegas.
And I shortchanged him. He's 28, not 27. He did get 112 or so at bats last year with the Rockies. He's got 134 in his career at age 28, 112 last year. And 5 homers for the Rocks.
And he's obviously an athlete because he's wearing Tom Glavine's number.
Okay.
2 balls, 2 strikes. And down goes Brown. That's the first strikeout for Mike Minor. And it is interesting when you talk about the Mets and all the changes they've made. The 2 highest paid outfielders for the Mets are Jason Bay and Bobby Bonilla. Believe it or not.
Bobby Bonilla is going to be on that list for quite a while longer, isn't he?
He's got a long time deferred contract with the Mets. It's paying him well over $1 million, and the Mets are paying the bulk of, if not all of, Jason Bay's salary to be a Seattle Mariner this year. No balls and a strike to Markham. And he pops one up to short. Simmons broke back. Now comes charging in and makes the play to retire the side. Lucas Duda hits a long home run to left field. The second blast of the night for the Mets, and they enjoy an early 3-0 lead. Part by AT&T Uverse, by Delta Airlines, and by Ford. 3-0 New York as we head to the bottom of the second inning. Welcome back to Friday Night Braves Baseball on Fox Sports South. Our game tonight presented by our friends at Blimpie. A lot of kids at the ballpark tonight for Friday night fireworks. And before the game, some kids got a chance to go on the field and get an autographed baseball. A hug.
Young Mr. Arnold was taking full advantage of being on the field. Don't blame him.
And a high five, too. Love it. So Freddie Freeman goes to work for the Braves. Atlanta down 3-0. High fly ball deep right. Brown going back, but that's the wrong side of the yard to hit it. 1 out.
Freddie has a look out there like, man, that was close to my best bolt right there. If you hit it that way, you better hit it low.
Yeah, good point, Joe. Well, you called this at the beginning of the game. I shouldn't be laughing. That's not funny.
Frustrating.
Evan Gattis bats. Missed the story yesterday. Evan named the National League's Rookie of the Month for the Braves. And he's down a quick strike. In fact, this series features the National League Rookie Player of the Month and the National League Rookie Pitcher of the Month. Matt Harvey will pitch later in the series.
And they'll get to hook up with the National League Player of the Month. That pitcher will. Here's our Academy Sports and Outdoor leaderboard. Most home runs by a rookie catcher in the month of April. Javi Lopez back in 1994 set the mark with 6, but Evan Gattis tied Geronimo Gil and Giovanni Soto with 5, one behind Javi Lopez.
You saw that note at the bottom. That's while playing catcher only. Gattis did have a pinch hit home run, you'll recall.
And had some at bats playing first base too, but I don't think he hit a homer while playing first either. I understand the reason since he has 6 total.
Base is empty. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Got away with a mistake there. The only thing that saved Markham on that one was that it was a changeup. But that was middle of the plate.
Way high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Off speed gets Gattis. First Markham strikeout. 2 up, 2 down in the second.
Guys are going to see a steady diet of that. Slow, slower, slowest. 87 maybe 4-seamer in on your hands, hoping you'll go after it if you're behind in the count, that where you can basically jam yourself.
And excuse me, Chip. And the other thing, the reason why you can sit on that off-speed stuff is that's the stuff that's more likely going to be a strike, because that fastball's going to be out of the zone to set up all that other off-speed stuff.
Whether the Braves hitters have been ahead in the count or behind the count, that's really been the pattern all year, has it not, Joe?
Especially for the middle of the order for the Braves. Nobody's given in and just threw fastballs when they've been behind 3-1 or 2-0. Usually a pitcher will go to whatever he has the most confidence in to throw a strike with an off-speed pitch.
Dan fought that off to stay alive. He's behind 0-2.
Dan Warthen is the pitching coach for the Mets in the specs.
That's way high. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Again, fastball completely out of the zone, just to try to get your eyes looking at something quick, but never throwing it for a strike.
Swing and a miss takes care of Dan Uggla. The Braves retired in order in the second. Leadoff man Ruben Tejada is coming up for the Mets in the 3rd inning. New York leads 3-0. For a do-over, but the game doesn't work that way. The Mets have scored twice in as many innings.
I don't think anybody yelled mulligan fast enough. Ruben Tejada had a wind-blown double down the first base line out in no man's land that dropped, and then John Buck with 2 outs followed with a pretty long home run high and far into left field seats. Duda did the same thing, an opposite field shot for him in the 2nd inning.
Second time up there for Ruben Tejada, and he takes a quick strike.
Mike Minor said his first year plus in the big leagues that long balls really affected him, where he was afraid to make another mistake, and as a result got himself into more trouble. He's learned to put that behind him. But he's given up a bunch of home runs in recent days. Kind of that start in Detroit. Last 8+ innings, 4 home runs allowed when he'd only allowed 1 in his last 25. So hopefully he'll be able to put these 2 tonight behind him and shut him out the rest of the way.
He's ahead of Tejada here in the 3rd inning. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Well, as long as you're not walking people, that's okay. But I've always felt that every good pitcher I faced that had a long career and a lot of success gave me a pitch to hit every at bat. And so those young pitchers, it's interesting to hear Mike say that it bothered him a lot, then he figured it out. No, I got to keep throwing strikes. That's the secret. Successful pitching is challenge that strike zone constantly.
That's one of the things we heard about Jordan Zimmerman prior to his start a couple of nights ago, is that he will just pound the zone. He didn't care if he didn't strike out a bunch of guys. He would pitch to contact, but he had enough confidence in his fastball and breaking ball that he could kind of mix and match that in there and get away with it, and he did.
Gattis' return throw eluded Mike Minor. And And after a pitch too tight, the count now 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, that's a pretty fancy footwork out there by Angel Hernandez.
I saw that.
Old soccer player out there. Yeah.
Out of play into the second deck here at Turner Field. Toward third. Francisco bobbles, but snagged it in midair with the bare hand. How about that play? 1 out.
Just a bit of a bobble. Fairwatt's got a good arm.
Yes, he does.
I don't think I gave him credit for having that good an arm last year when he played filling in for Chipper. But seeing him on a more regular basis, he can cut it loose from third base.
So Minor gets the leadoff man for the first time in an inning tonight. And he's got Daniel Murphy up there. Murphy popped out in the opening inning. I like this guy.
Yeah, me
Murphy.
too. Me too. He's been a tough out for the Braves the last couple of years.
And I gotta like it.
Yeah, you do.
Bouncing ball. Simmons at short. Glides and gets his man. That's out number 2. 3-0 Mets. Base is empty. 2 outs here at Turner Field, where all season long Braves baseball on Fox Sports South is presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. The right stuff, the low price every day. David Wright lined out his first time.
Good location there for strike 1.
Quickly 0-2.
Good combination there, moving fastball away and then come in with a fastball.
Another chance for Simmons at short. Plenty of time to get David Wright. And Mike Minor gets 3 straight ground balls to end the top of the 3rd inning. Pizza cake for Mike Minor, who trails 3-0. Let's join the fourth member of our crew tonight, Elizabeth Morrow. Hey, Elizabeth.
Chip, thank you. Some more good news about Brian McCann. He just homered for the fourth time, so that's 20 at-bats and rehabbing with Roma and Gwinnett plus 9 RBI. He will catch tomorrow, Sunday. Freddie Gonzalez said he'll have 2 or 3 at-bats, and then as scheduled, he will join the team Monday. And Freddie Gonzalez said if the doctors give him the go-ahead, he could jump in at any time. Guys?
Always love good injury rehab reports.
You bet. As with any guy who doesn't have real dominant stuff, it's imperative for Sean Markham to try to get ahead in the count. So far, so good on that count. 6 out of 7 first pitch strikes.
And after jumping ahead of B.J. Upton, he's missed with 2 in a row to make it a 2-1 count.
That's great news for Brian McCann. And I also read that he's throwing really free and easy. That's good stuff.
Two strikes.
Sorry, Chip. I saw Brendan Beachy work today, too. He had another one of his sessions with live hitting. And, boy, he looked good. Ball was coming out of his hand beautifully.
Ooh, just missed. Upton took it.
Throwing breaking balls, I think for the first time. But they look sharp too. He was throwing to Ramiro Pena and Tyler Pasternak, and they both were very complimentary too.
BJ hits one a long way the other way, and that one is over the head of Brown. And Upton stands at second with a leadoff double that snaps an 0 for 14 run.
Well, we said you had to hit it low if you hit it to right field.
Really good looking swing from BJ there.
Yeah. Slider away too. Boy, is that good to see.
Going the other way like that?
Well, and kind of looking that way too. Not expecting him on a 3-2 count to give him anything that he could really turn on. Great sign.
Well, I've always been a believer that you can look to hit the other way and adjust on those fastballs or anything in. You're always quicker than you think you are inside.
Right.
And that's the challenge when you're kind of struggling. You don't think you are and you think you're slow. But BJ does not have a slow bat. If he's behind, there's something else going on. Either his mind is a little mixed up or something.
Well, Greg Walker has said he may have the quickest bat on the team.
Right.
He's just been doing some other things that have prevented his quick bat from really working for him because he's been late to the ball. Maybe some extra movement.
Francisco skies one foul and is behind 0-2. See if he can get BJ up to the third base.
It's still early. Get him over. That was a huge long swing there.
Yeah, play for one and you end up with a few.
Isn't that the truth?
Loves to pull the ball, as you know. With that in mind, Turner is hugging the line at first base. Murphy's out on the outfield grass at second. And Tejada trying to play close to B.J. Upton, who's got a short lead at second base. And that's foul past third. Still 0-2.
77 mile an hour changeup.
Yeah, and it's 0-2, and you just got to force yourself to get jammed. In this situation, you've just, I know it's 0-2 and you got to guard the plate no matter where it is, but you almost have to give up your bat and anything else to the inner part of the plate in an effort to stay on the off-speed stuff. And they're taking him not up the ladder, they're taking him out the ladder. They keep going a little bit farther out and he keeps fouling them off.
Well, that's a good way to put it, Joe, because a guy with a good fastball will climb the ladder on you. Try to go ladder high and then just keep moving up, but he doesn't have a good fastball. So his off-speed stuff starts on the plate and goes a little bit more off the plate each time. And there's that fastball. I'm not sure if he's thrown a fastball on the plate yet.
I'm not sure that he has either.
Maybe.
And that's a pitch, to Juan's credit, he will chase that shoulder high fastball when he's behind in the count. And he laid off that time.
Yeah, Buck was almost standing up to receive that pitch.
Right.
Now it's 1-2. Ground ball up the middle, base hit. That's going to score Upton. 3-1 now your score. Great at bat by Francisco.
Change up, wanted it off the plate away, and again Juan covered it. I'm telling you, he earned that RBI.
Yeah, he did. Buck was setting up a good 6 inches off the plate.
Now Minor will try to bunt with nobody out. And he takes a called strike.
That's 12 RBIs for Francisco. That ties him for third on the team behind Justin Upton and Gattis. Ties him with Freddie Freeman.
Yeah, you put his numbers with Chris Johnson together and you've got unbelievable production at third base. Now Minor tries to help himself and he gets it down. Buck thought about second and makes the sure play at first. He really wanted to fire to Tejada and get Francisco at second. He didn't. Now the top of the order bats with Jordan Schaefer and Francisco standing in scoring position.
He looked and looked again, didn't he?
Yes,
Chip?
he did. Yeah, he looked. You're right. He stared that down for a long time. But veteran catcher knows you've got to get an out. If the team's going to give you an out, you take the out. If there's any doubt.
Well, Murph, you said play for one, you might get a couple. Here's a chance. Jordan Schaefer, who walked in his first time up, bats with one on and one out in the Braves' third.
Just looking at John Buck's chest protector. Well, now I see the flaps on those shoulders. From the front, it looked like it was all one piece. You know, we're used to seeing those light flaps over the point of the shoulder, but those actually do flex a little bit, as you can see there in the wind.
Joe, I thought that was interesting that you just noticed the wind blowing those flaps on John Buck. I mean, you can see the flag in center field high above the scoreboard. The wind is howling, and usually when you get down a little bit lower on the field, the wind isn't howling as much, but it is at field level and higher than that as well.
And a little light mist begins to fall too.
Don't like that. It's supposed to be iffy tomorrow. Hopefully not iffy tonight.
Schaefer showed bunt, and Francisco tumbled. He fell down, and he's going to be tagged out and picked off. Is Juan all right?
No.
Hurt.
I think he rolled his ankle.
You're right, trying to get back or something.
He can put almost no weight on what appears to be the right ankle.
Oh my. When you roll it and you're up on your toe, it's even worse than just a flat out roll. Good to see him walking.
Francisco will have to come out of the game, and either Ramiro Pena or Chris Johnson will come in and play third base for the Braves. That's ruled a caught stealing as Schaefer bunted through and missed a 2-1 pitch. They count now to Jordan 2-2 with 2 outs and the base is now empty. Now the wind really whipping at home plate. Look at the pants of the home plate umpire flapping in the breeze.
That was another, we talked about this a little bit last night, Chip. Jordan tried to bunt with a 1-1 count and got himself in a hole 1-2. Same thing there. I don't personally like that count to bunt on because, again, if you don't get it down, you got to battle then behind in the count.
And you've also said, too, many times you see the base runner take an extra step and end up getting picked off. Which is
yeah, that happened to Juan. You're right.
Well, I would agree. I went out with the guy on second with Jordan. I don't like the bunt there either.
But he's run the count full. See what Schaefer can do with 2 outs. Another walk.
That's good.
Markham's walked 2 men. It's been Schaefer both times. And Andrelton Simmons will bat with a runner aboard and 2 outs. Delta Airlines, the proud sponsor of the Atlanta Braves. We're off on the Delta Charter Sunday to Cincinnati for a weekend date with the Reds. Or started peak days date with the Cincinnati Reds. Easy for me to say.
My days are messed up too.
Yep. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday up at the Great American Ballpark.
Keep an eye on Jordan because, I mean, a lot of managers, if they lose a runner in scoring position like they just lost, they might try to swipe a bag here and get a guy out there anyway.
Ground ball, deep short. Tejada loads up and makes the play, and that retires the side. The Braves pick up their first run of the night, an RBI single by Juan Francisco. Inning, John Buck will get things started for the Mets. And he's already made his presence known in this series. A towering 2-run home run off Mike Minor on the first pitch he saw tonight. Francisco out of the game. Ramiro Pena is taken over at third base for the Braves.
Kind of a weird thing.
quickly 0-2.
I don't know how many of his now 10 home runs have been pulled this year. But remember last year he wore the Braves out to right center and right field, especially down in Miami.
It's got kind of a something you don't see too often. A lot of guys put some kind of tape on their handle, but never seen red tape or orange. Maybe it's Mets orange.
It almost looks like kind of like a golf grip, golf club grip. And those nice soft, padded wraps.
As far as the Braves are concerned, he's 2 over par with his 2 RBIs.
That's true.
And there's that shot to right field, but the wind's going to knock that into Jordan Schaefer's glove. And Buck is out number 1. 7 straight retired by Minor.
Fans grab the Braves steal of the game tonight only. Buy a season ticket package starting at 16 games for as low as $152, and you'll get a full set of 2013 Braves bobbleheads plus a 2012 Chipper Jones bobblehead. Offers good tonight only, so call right now at 404-577-9100. You see the B.J. Upton, the Chipper, the Murph, and the Freddie Freeman bobbleheads right there.
Not enough gray on Chipper Jones's bobblehead. Way too much brown on the goatee.
Well, it was a last year's model.
Good point. Justin Turner skies 1 foul to the right, and he's behind 0-2.
Well, the Murphy family's looking forward to that date in July. Should be a lot of fun. Honored to have that day. It's going to be fun.
Any more engagements planned? Last time you were here, we had an engagement last year.
Yes, thanks for asking. Yes, we did.
Really?
No kidding.
Yes. My son Taylor and his fiance Kelsey Lund. Thank you for asking. Probably have one next year too, you know. Chip. Got a lot of kids.
Well, you know, I mean.
Do they have a date? It's a big day.
You would ask me that.
Okay, never mind.
Let me check my July 20th.
Go to. There you go. Apparently not. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Well, I can remember every spring training. We'd go through our physicals, and Dr. Watson, Braves team doctor for many years, he goes, Dale, how you doing? He'd look at me and go, are you? I go, yep, we're expecting another one.
Like the Swallows to Capistrano.
Yes. Every spring he'd look at me and go, what? Again?
There was an old baseball movie called It Happens Every Spring. I didn't know it was about the Murphys.
1-2 pitch. Another pop up.
These are all kind of interesting. Look how far he had to run.
And Dan Ugla was pointing the way to Schaefer just in case he didn't see it. And he had to run about 40 yards to make the play and retire Mr. Turner.
Yeah, and then the funny part, I guess, it would be that BJ's line drive looked like it carried over the head of Andrew Brown.
It did. Every fly ball. In fact, John Buck hit that ball pretty good.
Yes, he did.
And it didn't show up. But every ball, starting with Tejada's ball, moved to Schaefer's right. Everything to hit the right field was going that way towards center field. You got to just remind yourself, pick up some grass, check it out every single inning to remind yourself.
Look at the flag above the high definition scoreboard. I mean, it's just howling toward the left field corner. As Lucas Duda bats, he's moved off the plate. 2 balls and a strike.
We talked about Lucas Duda's pitch per at bat. Thankful for Gretchen Caney, who gave me my pitches at bat. She said, I don't want to make you feel old, but they didn't have it for the last 10 years of your career because we didn't have calculators early on. But 3.5 pitches
per plate appearance for you.
Per plate appearance. Not very good. Or is that good? I don't even know if it's good.
I would say that's pretty good for a guy that.
But actually, if you take the first part of my career, though, it's probably less.
You factor in all the intentional passes, though. It was 4 pitches.
Duda hits this one a mile high. If you're going to hit it out, you better hit it under radar tonight, fellas. Duda did it once, but not this time. 9 up, 9 down for Mike Minor. Braves are back in the game, but down 2 runs with the 3, 4, 5 hitters coming up in the home half of the 4th. Trust shining moment. Braves have had their way with the Mets.
12 of the last 14 have gone the Braves' way, and look at the difference in pitching. I'm sorry. The 2.79, 6.38 is a combination of starting and relieving, but an obvious difference with the way these two teams have come together. And remember, last year, the Mets won the first 3 games of the season against Atlanta, swept them in New York.
Justin pops the first pitch foul to the right side and into the seats. 0-1 your count. Well, second time through the order now for the Braves. Let's see if they have a better idea of what Markham's trying to do.
John Buck just gave a signal. I don't know if it was to the infielders or not, but almost like somebody yelled in they couldn't see that foul ball that Justin hit. Like you see the infielders sometimes tell the outfielders, you know, if you need help, let me know. It's certainly dark enough. See that sign there? He's looking both sides of the infield. Maybe he had trouble.
There's just an ever so slight mist falling. Reed Johnson was talking about that last Sunday up in Detroit. He was playing right field. He told me that any ball hit to the left side of the field, he couldn't see it from right field. It's obviously much wetter weather at Comerica Park than here in Atlanta tonight.
There's that pitch that you can fight off and stay alive.
Right.
That was 86 in on him, and Justin waited till the very last second to pull the trigger and still fought it off in an effort to make sure he had the outer half covered.
You're right, Joe. And you can't hit that way against a lot of guys.
Right.
But Markham's a guy you can do it. The other fastball is the other fastball that comes in is head high, and then that one's off the plate. You can fight it off. You got to sit on that off speed stuff. It's hard to make that adjustment, but this is one guy you definitely look off speed and fight that stuff off, like you just said. Is that it again?
Same thing, same speed, 86.
Same place, not a strike. Well, he doesn't want to get you out with fastball.
Right.
He wants to get you out with something off speed. If Justin happened to hit that ball fair, he'd be happy because it's in on his hands. He's not going to make a mistake out over the plate with the fastball.
Fought another one away at 83 miles an hour. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
That had a little bit too much of the plate probably for Mark.
The good thing is Justin's not really changing his approach. He's staying with that outer half. That's a good thing.
Even though he's tried to throw a couple fastballs, I still believe that he really wants to get him out with something off speed.
Swing and a miss. Upton is down on strikes. That's the 3rd strikeout for Markham.
Well, Markham got away with one there, fellas.
Yeah.
He shook off a sign from John Buck that Buck wanted another pitch inside. He shook him off and wanted to go away, and then made a mistake right down the middle and lived to tell about it.
One out for Freddie Freeman. He flied to right on the first pitch. Breaks his bat this time and is behind the strike. It's 0-1. While Freddie reloads, we'll invite you to join us at Turner Field Sunday with the Fox Sports South girls. They'll be here with a couple of 4-legged friends for Bark in the Park Day. Sunday's great dog event may be sold out, but there are still great regular seats available. Plus, you're going to have another chance to attend Bark in the Park on Sunday, September 15th, when the Braves play the Padres. Those of you joining us here on Sunday, make sure you and your dog say hello to Brittany and Kanika. Fly foul. That's going to end up in the seats. It's 0-2.
You know, Joe, that at bat to Justin, I said I still think he wants to get him out with an off-speed touch. I'm still convinced if we get later into the game and there's guys on base, I can't believe the 3-2 he's going to throw him 3 straight fastballs.
Me neither. Even after the strikeout, he looked in at Buck and kind of patted his chest like, my bad. I didn't really mean to go there, but again, he lived to tell about it.
Freddie Freeman hooks this ball down the right field line and in safely. Brown over quickly, and it is a 1-out hit for Freddie. Well, the baseball gods owed him one as hard as he hit the ball the first time up.
Okay, he had to go out and get this pitch. The ball that came back to him, but look how low it is. He can look funny on some swings and still get hits. Sign of a good hitter.
And that brings the tying run to the plate. Evan Gattis. Evan struck out his first time up there.
I don't know if Justin Turner is doing this on purpose, but he's normally a second baseman by trade. But at first base, he looks a little bit like Jeff Bagwell with his Billy Goat goatee thing working, and only being about 6 feet, maybe 6 feet tall.
I was going to say the chin whiskers are the Jason Worth starter kit. You see our Home Depot tools from the dugout.
He's been all over the diamond.
Kind of an interesting pitcher for Evan Gattis to face, because coming up through the minor leagues, you don't face a lot of guys, if any, that are quote unquote crafty. Most of them are young flamethrowers. You know, a guy that throws a lot of off-speed stuff. Again, your term, the kitchen sink's going to come up there. Tough at bat for young players, especially.
Very mad at himself after he struck out his first time up, chased a breaking ball. Kind of expecting him to think about right center field here this at bat. Good cut.
1 ball, 2 strikes. You hear that all the time. You start playing this game as a kid, even all the way up to the major leagues. Get to 2 strikes, shorten up, and punch the ball the other way. Is that easy for this Braves lineup to do?
It's not the way they're. That's not the way they're made up.
Gattis lost the bat handle and is struck out for the 2nd time. 2 outs in the 4th inning.
Yeah, it is a little bit of a challenge. You're going to have to do it occasionally, obviously, but I would agree with Joe, and I think everybody's observation is that's not exactly in their DNA. But at this level, you should be able to do it occasionally.
Well, at this level, you got to be able to recognize what a pitcher's doing to you by the 2nd time through the order, and be willing to adjust to him too.
Markham has thrown strike 1 to 13 of the first 15 Braves hitters tonight.
Got to be the most important stat in pitching, I would think. The difference between pitching 0-1 and 1-0 is huge.
Little roller foul. Tommy Glavine has a great theory about it, Murph. He says 0-1 is great, but he prefers 1 and 2 after 3 pitches, no matter how you get there. So if you fall behind ball 1, come back and throw the next 2 strikes. As a pitcher, he preferred that as opposed to just concentrating on strike 1 at a time.
Well, that's a good point. You can't argue with the success Glav had.
No.
The main thing is you're ahead.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 on, 2 outs. Braves down by 2. Let's see if Uggla can keep it alive for B.J. Upton, our Delta Airlines on deck batter.
As obvious as it may sound, there's no successful pitcher in the history of baseball that made a living pitching behind. It just doesn't work that way. Got to get ahead.
Back up the middle. Murphy jumps and throws and got him. Murphy haunts the Braves again. This time it's with his glove. A bang-bang play to get Dan Uggla and end an Atlanta threat in the 4th inning. How close? Very close. And 3-1's your score. Marlon Bird starts the Mets 5th against Mike Minor, who's retired 9 straight after Lucas Duda's 2nd inning home run. Bird breaks his back. And at second base, Dan Ugla is there and has it for out number 1.
Good play by Murphy out behind second base. Now watch him jump off his left leg. Close play, went the Mets' way. But remember, he jumped off his left leg. That's important because we'll show you something else in just a second.
Andrew Brown takes ball 1. Brown struck out in his lone at bat tonight. And this ball hit high in the air to center, but B.J. Upton is under it and battles the wind, makes the play, 2 out.
A couple of years ago, Jose Costanza was sliding into second base in New York, August of 2011. His foot came off the bag and spiked Murphy inadvertently in the knee, and it caused ligament damage. He was out for the rest of the year and had surgery on that same knee. So it just shows you those ligament injuries certainly do heal well, just like they do for pitchers.
And he was one of the Mets' best players at the time of injury after that play.
And 6th in the majors in batting average.
Markham in the air to left. And Justin Upton is there. Mike Minor is in quite a groove. A 6-pitch inning and 12 straight Mets retired. Braves are down 2 runs. Mets behind Sean Markham, leading Mike Minor and the Braves. Time tonight for our Coors Light Freeze Cam.
This young player on the field before the game, Arnold, put on quite a show, showing you what team he plays for. Got a high five from Freddie Freeman, too.
And gets to talk with Elizabeth.
Guys, thank you. I came out to right field to see the wind, which is wicked, and I met Reagan. Tell us about how you got to get on the field.
Well, I sold 44 Braves tickets, and I just did this to get a lot of Braves fans to come out here to see this game, and I just want to say I sold this for all my family, my friends, and I just want to say, let's go Braves!
And he even got a baseball signed by Freddie Freeman. We want to see the, not Cam Newton, but the Johnny Manziel one more time. Come on. Show it to us. Show over there. Ah. These kids excited to be on TV. I was going to say, Murph, is this one of your grandkids? But I'm not sure about that.
It could be.
BJ line drive to left on the first pitch.
Here he comes.
He's 2 for 2. Heard Tom Hart say, or hear from B.J. Upton in his interview with each other before the game yesterday. Upton thought he was getting close.
Well, 2 scalded line drives. This is a hanging breaking ball that he stayed back on. Another good sign.
Yeah, a couple good swings tonight, and the interview with Tom Hart. There's nothing you'd. That's the last thing you want to do is interviews. But I admire BJ. Get out there, talk about it. You're better off doing that than climbing in a shell and not talking to anybody. It's not easy. I admire him for doing that.
Me too. Because about all he can say is, "Man, I just haven't been very good, but I'm working to try to fix it." And nobody's been a bigger advocate than Greg Walker, his hitting coach, about how hard BJ's been working.
First multi-hit game for B.J. Upton since Game 1 in Pittsburgh for the Braves tonight. And he's aboard in front of Ramiro Pena. Pena checked in after Juan Francisco rolled his ankle in the 3rd inning. So it's Ramiro's first at bat of the night.
He just joined us. Juan Francisco is on second. Jordan Schaefer showed bunt, and Juan, trying to stop and go back to second, rolled his ankle. And rolled it pretty good. Had to come out of the game.
Just as an aside, too, on that play by John Buck, when I was catching, there's a guy on second and the guy missed a bunt. I was taught to always get ready to throw it to second, because you have a tendency when you do miss the bunt or take a pitch as a bunter, the runner always seems to take an extra step. So young catchers, be ready to throw to second on a bunt.
Pena with a looping line drive to left, and the Braves are in business. 2 on, nobody out. Back-to-back singles, and Mike Minor a chance to lay down another bunt.
Tell you what, Ramiro Pena, no matter how long it's been between at bats, how many games, he comes off the bench rather, swinging the bat. And he goes the other way on something off speed.
The whole bench in April and first part of May here, really impressive. Jordan Schaefer, Reed Johnson, Pena, everybody. He's done a really good job.
Minor laid down a bunt in the 3rd. Let's see if he can move Upton to 3rd and Pena to second. 3-1 Mets game as we have hit the top of the hour.
That was interesting. The corners came running in, stopped, backed up. Mike pulled the bat back, almost like they were trying to get him to do just that.
David Wright with the defensive assignments. Turner and Markham talking things over at the mound.
Turner giving Markham some instruction. Look at Turner ran in, so did Wright, and they backed up. Mike Minor focusing on the pitcher. Pulled the bat back, assuming they were charging hard.
And look at Tejada, how far over to 3rd he is.
Downstairs, 2 balls, no strikes.
They're obviously trying to get that lead runner with Tejada hustling over to 3rd base, but that is really going to create some problems for Murphy at 2nd base. He's trying to bird dog Upton and hold him close so he doesn't get a big lead, and he's going to have to really hump it to get over to 1st base if there's a bunt down and they throw to 1st.
Minor got it down. Markham spins, fires to third in time.
Mets got what they wanted. Yep.
Well, your priority as a pitcher to get the ball down on the ground. Your next priority in this situation is you got to bunt it to third.
BJ got his foot kind of caught in the dirt before he got to the bag, and it caused him to pop up maybe a little soon. But a good job of execution by the Mets in that they jammed him with a fastball. Minor tried to get it down and bunted it hard right back to the mound.
So Upton's retired at third. Pena's at second. Minor's at first now with one out. Jordan Schaefer has walked twice. Over the outside corner, 1 ball, 1 strike. It's been a struggle for the Braves with runners in scoring position this year. They're hitting .228 as a club coming in. One ball, 2 strikes. Do it again.
It would appear that most of the Braves so far this second time and now the beginning of the third time through are trying real hard to get jammed. And they're willing to do what Jordan did, what Justin did, of fighting off that fastball in just to make sure they're not pulling off of anything off speed away. Gattis was the one exception.
Laid off.
In Evans' defense, I think they did to him what they were trying to do earlier to a hitter that I don't remember which guy, where they just kept Francisco, tried to go a little farther out, and they finally went far enough out that he couldn't reach one.
Out of play to the left side. 2-2. Braves and Mets battling in game 1 on Friday night Braves baseball here on Fox Sports South. Our game this evening presented by Blimpie. Duda creeps a few steps toward the left field line for the Mets. Bird playing Schaefer to the opposite field. Brown straight away and shallow in right. Tell you what, Jordan's done a heck of a job. He's fallen behind in the count. And now he's got a 3-2 pitch coming after walking twice already.
I know they're down by 2, and it'd be real risky here to send the runners on a 3-2 count with 1 out. But if you do that, you need to let Jordan know that that's going to happen so he can protect the runners, even at the expense of expanding his strike zone a little bit.
I mean, Jordan's seen everything Markham can throw. This is going to be the 23rd pitch he has seen tonight. Well, speaking of Jordan Schaefer.
Well, I agree with you, Jordan. It's a little risky, but sometimes when you're having a little trouble scoring some runs, take a few risks. Get guys moving. Stay aggressive. Don't back off.
3-2 pitch. Runners hold. And it's ball 4. Markham thought that shaped the outside corner. Didn't get the call. And the bases are loaded.
It's the only guy who's walked all night.
Remember, Jordan had 3 walks against Steven Strasburg in the first game of this homestand against the Nationals. So he's been on base a lot. And now they're loaded for Andrelton Simmons, and Dan Warthen, the Mets pitching coach, makes a visit.
I've been very impressed with Jordan Schaefer's spring training and his first month here. He's retooled that swing, going the other way a lot. I just think Greg Walker's done an amazing job with Jordan Schaefer. He struggled last year, came here with a chance to get back and make this roster as a bench player, and he's been invaluable this first month.
I like the fact that he went to Greg Walker early in spring training and said, "I've lost left field. I don't know how to go to left field anymore," and they went to work on that.
So now, fellas, here's an interesting scenario. Jordan Schaefer saw 24 pitches in 3 at-bats. Simmons is up for the 3rd time. He's seen 3 pitches, and he's got the bases loaded.
I fully expect him to swing at the first pitch if it's anywhere close.
He did, and fouled it away. Strike 1.
Might have been a strike, but at the top of the zone, and it was a high breaking ball, something to jump on.
Yeah, and coming in there at that speed, that's a good location to let it fly.
Yeah.
Line drive, right field, base hit. Pena scores. Minor is stopped at 3rd. It's a 3-2 game.
Double digits now for Andrelton Simmons. He's at 10. Little cutter, soft slider there away from him. Went with it. Another good piece of hitting. And a smart move by Brian Snitker not to send Minor to the plate. Not that he wouldn't have scored. He might have. It would have been a close play. But you got Justin Upton coming up.
And that's the end of the line for Sean Markham. He leaves with the bases loaded and a 1-run lead as LaTroy Hawkins gets the summons from the Mets bullpen.
RBI by Andrelton Simmons. Time for our Coors Light Cold Hard Fact, brought to you by Frostbrewed Coors Light, and a bullpen comparison between the Mets and the Braves. And as Tommy Glavine said the other night, there is no comparison. Check out the inherited runners. 16 have scored allowed by the Mets bullpen compared to only 6 for Atlanta. And a huge difference in ERA, and a veteran out there now in LaTroy Hawkins, guy who's been around a lot. Throws hard still. He's in the low 90s. Slider and a changeup.
Hawkins, 40 years old, broke into the big leagues back in 1995 with the Twins, where he was a starting pitcher. Started all the way up until the 2000 season, where he moved to bullpen and was the Twins' closer for a couple of years. Now he's got Justin Upton in the box. Bases loaded, 1 out. Braves are down a run. First pitch swing and a high drive toward right. Brown going back to the warning track. Makes the catch. All 3 runners tag, and the tying run scores. Close play at second base. But Justin Upton delivers a game-tying sac fly, his 20th RBI.
Murph, again, I think on any other night, that's got a chance to get out of here.
I thought that ball was scorched. I mean, it was scorched. It just didn't show up. You're exactly right. Justin thought he got it too. And Troy Hawkins is glad the wind was blowing in from right tonight.
Here's Mr. 2-out RBI, Freddie Freeman. 2 on, 2 in, 2 outs. 5th inning for the Braves.
If you're the runner at first, like Andrelton Simmons was, and I know he's young and aggressive, but you've got to make sure you're going to get to second base on this play. If they had tagged him out there, Mike Minor was a good 10 feet short of home plate. But Andrelton was sure, and he did make it, so no problem.
And the other thing, Mike Minor's got to make sure he's busting his tail down that line. He eased off about the last 20 feet.
A 2-strike pitch for Freddie Freeman now. Swing and a miss. And that retires the side. The Braves tie it with 2 runs in the 5th inning. They do that on 3 singles and a sacrifice fly. New life for Mike Minor and the Braves as we head to the 6th. Fans, time to grab the Braves steal of the game. It's tonight only. Buy a season ticket package starting at 16 games for as low as $152. You'll get the full set of those 2013 Braves bobbleheads and a 2012 Chipper Jones vintage bobblehead. Offers good tonight only. Call right now, 404-577-9100.
I like the full powder blue too, Murph. That's a good look.
Yeah, looking good. Looking good.
Well, there were a lot of teams wearing powder blue unis in those days and not gray. Oh, look at Mr. Carey's got his eyebrow wrinkled. That's almost like cause for hospitalization.
I didn't like the light blues, man. I like the grays. The Phillies had the blues. The Cardinals had the blues.
Yeah, I like the Phillies with their kind of maroon trim on that.
Did you?
I like the Cardinals. With
Royals.
Royals had their red trim.
Pena's first chance is flawlessly handled off the bat of Ruben Tejada. Miners set down 13 straight, one away in the sixth.
Hey, remember we said after the home run by Duda, we talked about Mike and how home runs affected him a year and a half ago or so, and how he's been able to mentally get past it and settle in. Well, he has tonight. Since that homer, 13 in a row set down.
Murphy was part of that run. He grounded out in the third inning, and he's behind with a quick strike. When you look at Mike's ERA lifetime against the Mets, it's not good, but the end result has been very good. Fly ball to center. BJ going back, still going back, and makes the grab.
Another quick inning would be nice. That's only 5 pitches this inning.
And 14 in a row retired for Braves starter Mike Minor. Here's David Wright. He's 0 for 2 and the subject of our AT&T Uverse trivia question. Since Wright's big league debut in 2004, name the only National League third baseman with more games played than David Wright.
Only current National League, did that say?
Yes, National League only. Current National League third baseman. 0-2. And Wright is caught looking. He didn't like that call. Minor has a career ERA of 6 against the Mets. You wouldn't know it the way he's pitching. He's thrown 13 pitches in the last 2 innings and is in a tie game at 3. We head to the last of the 6th inning and our Crown Royal game summary.
Mets got a 2-run homer from Buck in the first. They got a solo shot from, guess who hit a homer tonight? Duda in the second, but then the Braves rallied. Got a run in the third, a double by B.J. Upton and a single by Francisco. And just moments ago, they loaded up the bases, and a base hit by Andrelton Simmons plated a run, and a long sacrifice fly by Justin Upton got another one home to tie it up.
So let's see if the Braves can grab the lead off LaTroy Hawkins. It's Evan Gattis to start it off. He struck out twice.
Still bring it, can he?
He still can
at age 40.
Yep. Veteran presence in this Mets bullpen. And he fooled Gattis. 7 down swinging for a third time tonight.
Our guys from my big chance here. Our guys from Braves Lives are sounding off on FoxSportsSouth.com, and this time here, Dale Murphy's take on the team. What does the Braves Hall of Famer have to say on Justin Upton's record-breaking start in April? Check out FoxSports.com for Murph's special edition of Sounding Off. I speak in third person better than Ricky Henderson.
1 ball, no strikes for Dan Uggla here in the 6th inning. Dan's 0 for 2. Murphy robbed him of a hit last time up.
It's interesting. LaTroy Hawkins will come set out of the stretch on occasion, but not always. Sometimes he'll look like he's going to work out of the stretch, and then it goes right into a windup.
I think that windup is what fooled Gattis. That little movement right there, instead of coming stopped in the set, just takes it right into, I guess, an unconventional windup.
Very unique. I don't think I've seen that.
Line back where it came from.
He almost caught one right in the middle of that stretch. High fastball, boy. That thing was sinking too.
I think he was by him before he after. I think he reacted after it was by him. It's good to see Dan go up the middle.
Now BJ up there, 2 for 2 tonight.
2 line shot base hits. John Buck's got a little bit of a salt and pepper shaker thing working on that throw back to the mound. I don't know if Dan can take advantage of it, but it looks like he's trying to get his arm in the right place.
Chopped up the middle, and Tejada at the second base bag has an easy double play. And that's it for Atlanta in the 6th inning. On we go to the 7th. We're still tied 3-3. Seventh inning, 3-3 game. John Buck goes to work first for the Mets. Buck, part of that big deal going from the Marlins to Toronto, and then an equally big deal going from Toronto to New York. Interesting trade. The Mets and Jays each traded 2 catchers in that transaction in December. John Buck, Travis d'Arnaud, who they think will be the catcher of the future for the Mets. Right-handed pitcher Noah Syndergaard and outfielder Wilmer Bucera came from the Jays for Cy Young winner R.A. Dickey, Josh Tolley, and Mike Nikias.
d'Arnaud, I'm not sure what the correct pronunciation is. People rave about him, that he's going to be a terrific catcher at the big league level. Good offensive player, can really hit. But there's no rush right now because of the way John Buck is swinging the bat.
A record-setting April for John Buck. How about that grouping?
Pretty good names in there, aren't there? One Hall of Famer, one that's going to be in the Hall of Fame, Pudge Rodriguez.
And Buck will have a seat. Didn't like the call. Miners retired 16 in a row. Jacob Turner, the hitter, is 0 for 2. Well, d'Arnaud also has to sit a while. He's got a broken foot, so he's out for a couple of months for the Mets. They've got a lot of young talent coming up through their system. Syndergaard, they think, is going to be a terrific pitcher for them.
Zach Wheeler, too, out of Cartersville, Georgia.
And of course, Matt Harvey, who's off to a 4-0 start this year and can really throw the fastball. We'll see him in the series. So despite an 11-15 mark, some things are going right for the Mets. Turner looks inside, ball 2. 2-1 your count. Mike Minor's spot is due second in the bottom of this inning. He's at 82 pitches. And with that, the Braves bullpen has begun to work. Turner, a fly ball to center. BJ is there, and that's the second out.
And time for Georgia Power Energy tip number 7. That'd be Reed Johnson, number 7. Georgia Power now goes with you wherever you go. Just look over your shoulder. No, not that shoulder. Oh, you can easily access and manage your account whether you're at home or on your mobile phone. I improvised.
I liked it. Strike one to Duda. A homer and a fly out to center. And at this point, Joe, Mike Minor is toying with these Mets hitters.
I think he is very focused. I think since that home run by Duda, this guy, there's a term for it in baseball. It has to do with red. Part of your anatomy where you get a little angry. And I think he had a little fire under him that after that home run, he said, that's enough of that.
Well, you said it earlier. Mike has really been able to put home runs behind him, big innings behind him, and just go out and pitch. And he's done that 17 straight since this man left the ballpark. And he just missed with that pitch. 2-2.
That's really a good 1-2 count pitch.
Duda very patient. And look that one away. Full count.
Love to see him come with a fastball in. I'm not so sure I like Mike working this guy away too much.
Bounced foul past first. And Duda's still alive.
3-2 breaking ball from Mike.
I like what you said there, Joe. Focused. Really, you can see it, you can feel it from him.
Swing and a miss. Struck him out. If Miner's finished, he finished with a flourish. He retired 18 straight men and has this game tied 3-3 at the stretch. Busy here in the final innings tonight in Atlanta. We know he was busy earlier today with a special on-field presentation. For more on that, let's check in again with Elizabeth.
Well, Chip, thank you. That is right. Eric Bragley and his wife decided to go to spring training last year before he was deployed in May. And Coach Snickner found out that he was there, so he invited him into the dugout. Today he presented him with a flag, guys. Eric carried this flag with over 100 missions. He also carried a Jason Hayward jersey with him. Surprised Coach Snicker. It was awesome to be down there on the field. Absolutely incredible. I asked Eric how he felt, and he said, I know I'm not showing it on my face right now, but I am so excited. He also got to meet Dale Murphy. What an honor, and everyone was shocked. And I have to admit, Freddie Gonzalez was a little misty-eyed.
Yeah, what an honor.
Yeah,
what a great presentation.
Really special.
What a nice thing for Ryan Snitker to do down in spring training a year ago, too. To invite him down into the dugout.
This is Scott Atchison. He's the third Mets pitcher. And his 14th game. Showed you the overall numbers for the Mets bullpen. Their relief corps had some trouble this year. Atlanta's in their pen now with 9 outs left, tied 3-3. Mets bullpen 5 losses this year. That's the 8th highest loss total in the majors. And their bullpen ERA 28th in baseball. And that's one reason why. A leadoff walk in the late innings.
Yeah, there's been some things written in New York. People critical of Terry Collins are saying that his job's in jeopardy because the team is went on a little losing spell there, lost 6 in a row. But the thing that people don't understand is when a manager's making moves and he's calling these guys out of the bullpen, and it could be any manager, you can't throw for them. You can't make the moves for them to get outs. They're only as good as they are. And if they're not good enough to help save games or hold leads like this, then it's not the manager's fault.
Well, you got to have the horses, but there's something there right there that's probably driving him crazy too. Is a 3-2 breaking ball in the dirt.
That was a foul ball. A foul ball by Tyler Pastrnak.
Yeah, the leadoff hitter.
To walk Pena a 3-3 game in the 7th, and you're going to come out of the pen and throw a 3-2 breaking ball in the dirt. I mean, I don't know his stuff that well, but that's kind of an unusual way to go, really, in a lot of situations in the game. And especially late in the game where you're walking someone on what is usually at least your second or third best pitch.
Good lead at first for Pena. Pastrnak behind in the count. Shows bunt, gets it down. Atchison will have one play, has to double clutch as he waits for Murphy to get to the first base bag. Pastrnak continues to succeed when called upon. That could be a very big play, a successful sacrifice. Now the top of the order for Atlanta.
That was a good bunter. Very good bunter. And one of the problems there for Atchison was that he didn't throw one and hit Turner right between the eyes. He had to duck to get out of the way. A lot of sliders from this guy. 90 to 95 mile an hour fastball, but a ton of sliders.
Schaefer's been the walking man tonight. 3 bases on balls. Let's see if he can drive home Pena with 1 out. So Minor out of the game. 7 innings. 3 runs, 3 hits, and retired the last 18 straight. Is the corner. Good try. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That one gets by Buck, and Pena moves up. And from 0-2 now to 3-2 on a wild pitch.
Yeah, more importantly, just getting that runner over to third base with 1 out. So the 3-2 breaking ball in the dirt, Murph, that got him on. And this one that hit off the front edge of the plate, it looked like.
The Mets infield creeps in for Schaefer.
Yeah, in this situation, it wouldn't be a bad idea to throw a breaking ball. You do have a base open, set up a double play, but he just bounced it. On Jordan, I'm looking dead red.
Ball 4. Schaefer has seen 29 pitches tonight and has walked 4 times. And remember, started this at bat quickly behind 0-2.
Sign of a pretty good leadoff man, isn't it?
Not bad. I was asked the other night on Braves Live what my pleasant surprise was for April. I said Chris Johnson, but kind of a close second is Jordan Schaefer.
Andrelton was aggressive with the bases loaded on the first pitch. Let's see if he is here.
Good lead for Jordan. Simmons pushed a bunt down the first base line. That's foul. Strike 1.
Not a bad idea at all if he got it fair. Freddie's got his nose turned up at that, though.
Me too. I like Andrelton hitting one off the wall here instead of bunting, but you're right. I mean, but it would have got everybody by surprise. There's no question about it. But
Pena was heads up to it. He was ready.
Strike 2. Do it again. Atchison, a non-roster player who's made the Mets, trying to keep this game tied at 3. Andrelton Simmons has runners at the corners, a 2-strike count and 1 out.
That's been around the horn too. 37 years old, started with Seattle, pitched a little bit in the big leagues with the Giants, and then spent 2 years in Japan before coming back to pitch for Boston. He's been with Boston parts of the last 3 years.
Slow roller toward David Wright. Gotta hurry to turn 2. Won't get it. Braves lead. The leadoff walk puts Atlanta in front.
The Mets did everything right. It was just hit too softly. Murphy got rid of it quickly too. But watch Andrelton, who was already kind of leaning out of the box. That gave him a little bit of a head start.
yeah, the ball was kind of hit at a speed that can't go home. Can't get that guy at home. Got to try for 2. Not hit hard enough to get it.
Now Upton hits. Justin came up in the Braves' 5th inning with the bases loaded and unloaded on the first pitch he saw. The wind howling in as it is. No chance for a grand slam. Any other day it would have been, but he did pick up his 20th RBI. And that was the game tire back in the 5th. Well hit to right again, but Brown is there and backpedals to the warning track and retires the side. The Braves get a couple of walks and a sacrifice and manufacture the go-ahead run. To the 8th we go. The Braves up 4-3. Braves pitching staff is playing the blues for the New York Mets. 18 straight New Yorkers have been set down by Mike Minor. He departs now with a 4-3 lead, and Eric O'Flaherty answers the AT&T call to the bullpen.
154 ERA and a 150 average against. You look at Eric's lines and the work he's done, there's a lot of zeros to go with the O in his name.
Marlon Bird drives one deep right center field. BJ going back, and that is gone. Marlon Bird has tied the game in the 8th.
I'm not getting this, Murph.
Well, I think it's just a little bit more towards center than it's carrying. Did you expect it to go there?
No.
Neither did I. I think it must be from the bullpen over in right field that is not carrying it. I don't know. That ball had to be
really crushed.
Well hit.
Marlon Bird always seems to play well when he comes home, too.
Only the 3rd home run given up by the Braves bullpen this year. And New York has new life now. 4-4 your score for Andrew Brown.
It's a shame, too, after Mike Minor worked so hard to hold him at 3 and gave his team a chance to catch up.
First home run allowed by Eric in 52 appearances dating back to last June 7th. So 1 in, 1 out, and Atchison's night is done.
This is Juan Lagares. I think they changed his number to 12. He's on the roster with 63.
So Lagares indeed bats in the Mets' 8th. Juan was hitting well in the minor Lagares at Las Vegas.
That was a reach.
Yeah, it was 346. But he's 0 for 1 tonight. 2 outs.
But I was listening.
You're the one, huh? Fox Sports is proud to partner with Johns Hopkins Medicine, one of this year's Fox Sports supports charities. Johns Hopkins is at the forefront of groundbreaking research into autoimmune disorders like multiple sclerosis and lupus. Join us in the fight against autoimmune diseases. Donate now by visiting hopkinsmedicine.org/Fox.
Okay, we just threw some grass in the air. Murph and I did. After that strikeout. Well, smoke from the gas south sign.
Yeah.
Looked like it was blowing more toward the scoreboard than it was back to the field.
Well, Joe, it's a good pickup. Look at the flags in right center field.
Yeah, above the chop house.
Hanging straight down. Look at the flag in center field.
Yeah.
I mean, at that level where Bird hit that ball, it's gonna jump. I think if you get it a little bit higher, it's not gonna go. But those flags are.
Yeah. That was the direction.
Yeah,
there.
interesting.
The chop house that Bird hit his homer.
What if you get kind of a cyclonic effect? The wind blows in toward the Mets dugout and then whips out.
Well, you could, but what is a
cyclone? You know.
Oh,
I thought we were going to have to Eat something funny.
I like that word, though. Cyclonic.
George Graddale, hear a lot of things out of me that you don't hear anyplace else. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Cyclonic. No, yeah, there's something weird about the wind patterns in there. It comes in and then shoots out a little bit. Used to do that in Candlestick too.
That's fouled at third. 2 balls, 2 strikes. All year long, Braves baseball on Fox Sports South is presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. The right stuff, a low price every day. Joe Simpson, Dale Murphy, Elizabeth Morrow, Chip Carey with you at Turner Field. It's late, and our game's tied at 4. Simmons at short. Tejada is retired, and the inning is over. But Marlon Bird has come back to Atlanta, and he has tied the game with his second homer. Let's see if the Braves can take the lead in the 8th. 4-4 game.
Mets jumped out early. In fact, all 4 of their runs have come by way of homer. This one, a 2-run shot by John Buck in the first inning, deep into the seats and left. His 10th of the year. Lucas Duda, the next inning, goes the other way. His 6th of the year. The Braves had tied it up 3-3, and then Marlon Bird goes to deep right center and hits his 2nd of the year. The Sprayberry High School alum. So we're tied 4-4 now, because actually the Braves had led 4-3 when Bird hit his. That was the game tying homer.
And for a Mets bullpen that struggled, this man hasn't. What a great story Scott Rice has been. At the age of 31 and 192 days, he became the 2nd oldest American born player to make his big league debut with the Mets. And Freddie Freeman jumps all over his first pitch and lines out to right. Rice's first year as a pro was in 1999 with the Gulf Coast League Orioles. He pitched in rookie ball and A ball all the way through 2003. Didn't get to AAA until 2006. Pitched a year in independent ball. Last year at Albuquerque. And now makes the New York roster.
Only got the 1 out Terry Collins wanted him to get.
And it was Freddie Freeman to start the Atlanta 8th. Still tied 4-4.
By Blimpie. By the Georgia Lottery. By the Home Depot. And by Toyota.
Mets go deeper into their bullpen with one out in the 8th inning and a tie game at 4 on a very windy night in Atlanta. The Mets' 4th reliever is right-hander Brandon Lyon.
Longtime veteran. Almost a strikeout per inning pitched. ERA a little different than what his opponent average would show you there. Fastball right around 90 miles an hour, cutter, and a curveball.
Evan Gattis has 3 strikeouts tonight. Let's see what he does with Lyon. Jumps all over the first pitch and drives it straight away center field. Goodbye! That's what he does with Lyon. Takes him out to the deepest part of the yard, and the Braves lead again.
Well, you know what? Like Mike Minor earlier, who had a little bit of a red thing working, I think so did Evan Gattis after 3 strikeouts.
I think you're right, Joe. That is a strong, strong man. That ball is scorched, and those are the balls that are going to carry.
Now Ugla tries to join in. And that's going to drop in the corner. Long single for Ugla.
Check him out. Evan Gattis has been very unemotional, at least on the outside, with everything that's happened to him this first 6 weeks of the season. But after what happened tonight with his 3 strikeouts, very unhappy about it for him to come through. You see him in the dugout, I think a lot different in the way he's expressing himself.
You're right, Joni. He took it out on that baseball, didn't he? Not that ball's not going to make it out if it's a little higher because his ball is scorched, but that's the one that's going to, I'm getting a hug there. That's the one that's going to carry is that pouring low line, hard line drive.
The Mets double up B.J. Upton. Evan Gattis hits a huge home run. He's got 7 this year. 5 of his 7 home runs have come with the game tied. He has been incredibly clutch. And he gives the Braves a lead going to the 9th inning, 5-4, and you know who's coming on next. because that man took one out to straightaway center field. Let's get to our AT&T trivia question again with David Wright due second in the ninth. Since Wright's debut in 2004, there is only one current National League third baseman who has played more games than David Wright.
I'm going Ryan Zimmerman.
I'm going with Ramirez.
How about Michael Young?
He's in the National League now.
Remember Michael Young now with the Phillies?
Boy, is that a fancy question.
So Craig Kimbrell goes to work in the ninth inning, and his numbers against the Mets are eye-popping, Murph.
Pretty good, huh? 12 save opportunities, 12 saved, 0.59 ERA. $15 innings and 27 strikeouts.
Wow.
That works.
Yeah, it works, and he's got 3 days rest too.
And unlike some appearances, Joe, no ball one, ball two here with Danny Murphy. See you later. Big curveball gets Murphy looking. One out.
That breaking ball to left-handers, they just cannot pull the trigger. Well, it's obvious why.
He throws it hard.
And his numbers against lefties are just absolutely incredible good.
They told me that was 86 miles an hour.
David Wright, an 0 for 3 evening.
David Wright 0 for 4 against him with 3 strikeouts.
One ball, no strikes. .97 and right on by.
It's the kind of the one you got to hit. If Craig's going to go 1-0 to you, you better hit that 1-0 pitch. You got to figure he's going to come in with a fastball, try to get the count back to even. Because then that starts happening. Now he can throw anything, let her high or throw that breaking ball. It's just tough.
It's not a good spot to be in if you're David Wright.
The Pirates beat the Nationals tonight in Pittsburgh. That's good news. A.J. Burnett picked up the victory tonight. Phillies beat Miami 4-1 as well. Here it's 5-4 Braves in the ninth inning. David Wright in the box. Bases empty, 1 out. Fly ball well hit center field. David Wright has tied the game with a mammoth homer.
Apparently David Wright didn't mind being in that spot, but he found that jet stream to right center.
Yes, he did. Again, that low flight, that ball's crushed as well, but the low flight keeps it under that wind. But again, the wind is just not hurting balls in that right center field gap where you would expect it to, because you can see again, they talked about the flags above the chop outs where they're blowing a little bit now.
That one went way out, folks.
The Mets have hit 4 home runs tonight.
Had at least 10, if not 12 rows up, maybe more.
Well, we talked about the pregame, David Wright and John Buck. David Wright's been heating up. John Buck went deep tonight. He hit a ball, I think, to right field, actually, that probably would have been trouble on a normal night.
Buck a little late. 2 balls and a strike. So we'll see a bottom of the 9th inning for Atlanta. As Kimbrel can't seal it for Eric O'Flaherty in the 9th tonight. 3 balls and a strike. So 30,871 paid to watch this one tonight. Blustery night at the ballpark. 3 balls and a strike. Buck takes a call at 3rd strike. He was ready to pitch the bat away and head to first base. 2 out.
What a job by David Wright behind in the count. Laying off that high fastball and then getting one down a little bit that he could put the barrel on.
Well, we said the last couple nights against the Nationals that we need to tip our cap to their pitchers. You got to tip your cap to David Wright right there. That's a professional at bat.
Justin Turner will be taken down for Ike Davis in the 9th inning. Swing and a miss for Davis, who for the 2nd straight years had a real rough April. Ike hitting $169 for the Mets. But as you see, good luck in 5 career at bats. Not this time, though. Kimbrel strikes out 3 in the 9th. But David Wright with 2 strikes hit one a mile into the seats in right center field. Number 5 makes it a 5-5 game as we head to the last of the 9th inning. Inning now. As we meet you for game 1 of the series, here's who's pitching tomorrow night. Our Chevron upcoming starters.
Julio Teheran is gaining confidence with every start. His ERA will begin to come down by the way he's been pitching in recent starts. Jonathan Neese 2-2, a guy who's been tough on the Braves in the past. Good lefty.
Ramiro Pena will go to work for the Braves in the 9th inning. He's reached twice. He's scored twice. Remember, took over for Juan Francisco, who turned an ankle. Mike Davis stays in the game to play first. As Brandon Lyon back out there for another inning.
Up and in might lead to something down and away.
Slapped foul to even the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Line drive right field. That's in for a hit. Pena's got extra bases. He's on his way to second with a leadoff double. He is something.
Lyon went to some other pitch. I didn't know what it was. Looks like a breaking ball there on second look, and it wasn't a very good one. And Pena didn't miss it. He'd been throwing 4 seamers and a sinker, but tried his breaking ball. Pena spoiled it.
Yep, just left it up a little bit. Again, great job by Ramiro Pena. You know, I got to be honest with you. I thought at the beginning of the season, I was thinking, in relatively speaking, this bench was kind of young. You know, usually you want a little bit older experience like the Braves have had the last few years, but they have done the job.
Reed Johnson grabs a bat, shows bunt, lays it down, foul. Strike 1. Mike Minor and Tyler Pasternicki got sacrifice bunts down in the 9-hole tonight. Both those bunts led to runs. At the top of the order next.
The bench has been outstanding, led by Reed Johnson. Like this guy's attitude, chemistry he brings to the ball club.
A perfect bunt. Absolutely perfect. Winning run 90 feet away, 1 out.
You're right, Chip. It was perfect. First, when he was running out of the box a little too quick, almost like he was bunting for a hit. That time he made sure he got it down. Pat at the top of the strike zone, out in front of it. Well placed.
So Terry Collins, the Mets skipper, makes his way to the mound here. He's got left-hand hitting Jordan Schaefer coming up, and that's going to be the end of the line for Brandon Lyon. The Braves have the winning run 90 feet away. 5-5 game with 1 out in the home half of the 9th. part by Georgia Power, by Crown Royal, and by AT&T. Action for the Braves in the bottom of the 9th inning. Ramiro Pena stands at third base with 1 out. After a great sacrifice bunt by Reed Johnson after the Pena leadoff double. The Mets club this year has 3 saves. This is the man that has all 3 of them, Bobby Parnell.
Jerry Collins had been trying to protect him a little bit. He'd worked 2 days in a row. They had a save opportunity 2 days ago, didn't bring him in, and they blew it. But he did come in yesterday, or 2 days ago, I should say, and got the save. The day before was the day he didn't want to use him 3 days in a row. But he throws hard. 95, 98, somewhere in that range with a curveball. Sometimes his fastball can be straight. Left-handers, though, just 2 for 20 against him so far this year.
Infield is in for Schaefer. Swing and a miss.
Jordan was late. Got to tune it up a notch from everybody else you've seen tonight if you're Schaefer.
Parnell has had excellent control this year. 11 strikeouts, only 1 walk. Right there, called strike 2.
He is their Craig Kimbrell. While he has not enjoyed the success of Craig Kimbrell closing games, he's the guy that comes in blazing.
Schaefer's been in 2 strike counts all night, and all he's done is walk a career high 4 times. Let's see if he can work some more of that magic in the 9th.
With 1 out, the outfield has to come in shallow also with the winning run at third.
Little fly ball, shallow center. Bird comes in, makes the grab. No chance for Pena. Jordan made contact, but not deep enough. 2 out.
And all night we've talked about the wind. The wind probably brought this one back in about 10 feet. See Bird charging that.
Actually played the right way by Marlon Bird to stay behind it and come to it.
So with 2 outs, Simmons bats. The infield and outfield back up. Downstairs, 1-0. Hamilton, 2 RBIs tonight. A 5th inning single. And he beat the rap on a double play try by the Mets in the 7th. Pop fly out of play, 1-1.
This is one of those guys you don't try to think about choking up and going to right field on. You just think about shortening up your swing on. You got to shorten up your stride, get your front foot down a little sooner, and try to get your hands ready to throw the barrel at it. Any long stride or long swing, he'll beat you.
And that's the comparison to Craig Kimbrell as well.
Yes, it is.
Don't want to be long on Craig.
Strike 2 at the knees.
Good pitch to hit, but 97 makes it a tough pitch to hit. Good location to hit, but that velocity, tough.
Oh, good stop by Buck.
That was the curveball, and well done.
Parnell has yet to throw a wild pitch this year. This will be a nice time for the first. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Okay, the wind's really whipping out there. You can see it along the uniform. And I think that distracted him a little bit, or enough to step off and start over.
Simmons wants time. Well, if Simmons can reach, and if Pena's still at third, Upton's next. Fought it off.
99 down and in.
Wow, that's a good job just fouling that pitch off. 99 down and in. You don't see that very often.
This guy's one of those. He's tall. He's about 6'4", and he doesn't put a whole lot of max effort into it. He just got a great arm, great leverage.
Another 99-mile-an-hour fastball fought off.
2 in a row.
Hamilton's doing a good job of getting that front foot down, basically taking out any stride that he might normally use.
He didn't go. Simmons checked his swing, and runners are at the corners, and Justin Upton will hit.
Paul Nauert's the umpire at first base. Body got out there. The bat really didn't.
I think that's one of the advantages of using a dark bat. I had an umpire tell me once, he said the guys that use the dark bats, it's hard to see. I thought it was a good call. I'm not saying he swung. I thought it was a good call, but
what a good matchup here, huh? With the game on the line.
Power against power.
good stuff here.
First and third, 2 outs, tie game. Runner goes, pitch, pop, fly, foul off the bat of Upton.
The thing for Justin here is he is an excellent low fastball hitter. That one was up. He couldn't get on top of that one. And with this hard thrower for Justin, or really anybody, make him get that ball down just a little bit. Get it down in the zone. He's going to try to keep the ball down, one would think.
Little roll toward David Wright. He gloves. He throws on the run, and that ends the Atlanta ninth inning. Braves got a leadoff double, but could not push across the winning run. And we go to extra innings at Turner Field. Braves 5, Mets 5. tied this game at 5. Braves had a great chance to win it in the bottom of the inning, but could not push across those 6th runs. So to the 10th inning we go, where extra innings are presented by Jack Link's Beef Jerky. Jack Link's Beef Jerky. Murph, feed your wild side. Braves country has to be wild about this guy. What a job Jordan Walden's done out of the pen.
Yeah, and that one walk was his last time out. First one he had issued all year long. It was yesterday against Washington. But his last 2 outings, both against Washington, 3 strikeouts each time. One in 1 2/3, and the other time in just 1 full inning. 8 strikeouts in his last 4 1/3 innings overall. That changeup has been outstanding.
So the lower part of the order up for New York. Duda, Bird, and Brown. And Walton misses high. 1 ball, no strikes. On this windy night, we've seen 5 home runs hit. 4 of them by the Mets, 1 by Lucas Duda.
An opposite field shot by Lucas Duda on a fastball, a little bit up and out away from him. Got his arms extended. That ball seemed to carry on a little bit of a jet stream to left center.
That's the pitch that's really made the difference. Jordan Walden. Out of play to the left side. 2-2 the count.
Outfield very deep and straight away, trying to make sure nothing gets hit over their head. Willing to concede a single.
Popped up. Let's see what the wind does with this. Andrelton Simmons drifting and makes the play. Duda's retired.
That missed his return too.
Yeah. What are you guys hearing about tomorrow night's weather?
Not good.
Forecast isn't real hot.
No.
Could be cyclonic.
Oh, if it is,
we better not play then. Here's Marlon Bird. He hit a home run in the 8th.
Actually, Joe, you mentioned how deep the outfield was playing. I actually don't like that in this situation. No, because I think most of the balls are hit in front of you anyway, and I like no doubles if the winning run gets to first. But I don't like to concede a hit. You know what I mean? I feel like you play normal until they get to first, because there's so many base hits that hit in front of you. Now you're even increasing the chances even more. I don't like guys on the line, you know, in this situation. I feel like the routine ground ball is going to be is going to be a single. I like to play straight up, play normal until the winning run gets on first. But there's differences of opinion on that.
That's outside to Marlon Bird. A ball and 2 strikes. Last year, Bird started with the Cubs, was traded to the Red Sox in late April. The Red Sox released him on June 14th. Bird was suspended 50 games by Major League Baseball for a violation of the joint drug program. Was reinstated August 21st. Didn't play with another Major League team the rest of the year. And then went to winter ball for the first time ever. And played in the Mexican League. With 16 home runs for Culiacan.
That was Ramiro Peña's team.
And now is made his way to New York in the Mets. We're desperate for outfield help, and Bird's done a nice job for him so far.
And he had a good spring.
Popped up back toward us and out of play. We're really fortunate to be still playing Major League Baseball, not because of the suspension, but he was hit in the face in 2011. Multiple facial fractures, didn't have to have surgery miraculously.
Yeah, that was a bad one.
He's been an all-star before. Good hitter with Texas. Started with the Phillies so many years ago. And he drives this ball in the air to right field. Schaefer comes in, still coming in, gets there for the second out. I don't envy the outfielders tonight, to be honest with you.
I don't want to play right field tonight.
You're right. If you're in right field and the ball is to your right, the ball's got a chance of carrying. If it's high, it's going to come in. If it's to your left, you don't know which direction it's going to go. As much fun as I made of you, Chip, with that word cyclonic. You know, I never had a situation with the wind in Atlanta Fulton County Stadium. Never even thought about it, and it's because it was enclosed. It was, you know, that old 70s style ballpark. Never even thought about it. But when you did get to Candlestick or you did get to Wrigley, the open ballparks like Ted Turner Field is now, it's a huge issue. But I never thought about the wind unless it was a real unusual heavy storm. But never thought about it. But here it's definitely a factor.
Here's a stormy guy. This guy's been a terrific pinch hitter for the Mets the last couple of years. Valdespin last year and already this year, 6 pinch hit home runs. Just a couple shy of Mark Carrion, who played for the Mets for 4+ years.
And I'm sure that's what Roger McDowell had to tell Jordan Walden. Hey, you may not know this guy's history. He loves to hit home runs in a pinch. And something off speed greets him with ball 1. 6th career pinch hit homer was May 1st in Miami. He had a game-ending grand slam April 25th against the Dodgers.
So the Dodgers brought in 5 infielders and had 2 outfielders. So he probably hit one over the fence.
Fans are bundling up tonight in Atlanta. Strike 2 called. Good pitch.
I'm told about the only thing Valdespin needs is a watch.
Really?
Yeah. Has a little trouble getting places on time, team-wise.
Two balls, 2 strikes. 4, 5, and 6 coming up for the Braves in the bottom of this 10th inning.
They only have 5 hits. They've only had 5 base runners. 4 of the 5 hits are home runs.
And that one gets away from Gattis. Valdespin will earn a 2-out walk. But you got the pitcher up there. Bobby Parnell's going to hit for himself. The throw is not in time. Valdespin beats the rap at second. And so with 1 strike, looks like Parnell's going to be taken down, and Mike Baxter grabs a bat.
Got the good jump off of Walden. Gattis did everything he could, including a good throw.
You know, that was a really interesting sequence there. Walden throws a breaking ball 3-2, and I was kind of second guessing him. I'm thinking, why do you throw a breaking ball? Well, they probably saw the pitcher, was going to hit. But then it gets back to the fact he stole second. Now they're going to pinch hit for the pitcher. Gets back to. Would have been nice. Valdespin is a good pinch hitter. He's probably thinking, I don't want to give him something too good.
Yeah.
But I always, late in the game, I'm hesitant to throw 3-2 breaking balls.
This guy's a good pinch hitter. And he inherits an 0-1 count. Now it's 0-2. Baxter had the highest pinch hit average in baseball last year at .458. This year he's 2 for 6 with a walk off the bench for the Mets.
Guy made a great catch, crashing into the wall on the no-hitter thrown by Johan Santana early last year. Broke his collarbone.
Was out from June 1st to July 30th with that injury. And now has an even count.
That changeup is a very good pitch, but he pretty much uses it only on lefties. Threw a couple of good ones to Duda, and then finally retired him on the pop.
That hit him. Valdespin was going to try to score on what he thought was a ball in the dirt, but the pitch hits Mike Baxter. Valdespin will have to go back to second base. The Mets have runners at first and second, and now the top of the order with 2 outs. All of a sudden, the pitch is piling up for Walden. He's thrown 26 of them here in the 10th.
Got him on the hop.
Well, Ruben Tejada now. 2 on, 2 out. See how clutch he's been for the Mets. Strike 1. Valdespin's going to try to steal third, and he had it stolen. Tejada fouled it back to the screen.
Nobody bird dogging him. If he wants to try and steal, okay, that's one thing, but Braves are not going to hold him for fear of taking somebody out of a defensive alignment. with the go-ahead run in scoring position.
Line drive, center field, base hit. Valdespin around third. He's going to score. Upton's throw toward third is going to be late. And Tejada does indeed come through with a big hit. And New York is back in front 6-5.
He sped his bat up. He threw 2 really good fastballs at 95 to get ahead 0-2. And then threw a breaking ball 0-2 that allowed Tejada to speed his bat up and catch up.
Well, you can see where Gattis was set up. I'm sure Walden would like a do-over there. Left it out over the plate.
A 2-out walk, a stolen base, a hit batsman, and a single has put New York in front 6-5. And that's the end of the line for Jordan Walden. Effective against the New York Mets. Both Eric O'Flaherty and Craig Kimbrell had blown saves. Jordan Walden has given up the lead to New York with a 2-out single to Ruben Tejada. And now Luis Avilan is on for the 12th time and tries to put out this fire for New York. Danny Murphy 0 for 4 tonight. Slaps the first pitch out of play. Strike one.
He came into the game actually hitting better against left-handers, a .333 average against lefties.
Two. Murphy hitless in his last 10 at bats now with a runner in scoring position. Hitless against Luis.
Close to a balk there. Looked like it. I think he took a real aggressive move toward first base.
Rolled foul past first. Murphy's still alive at 0-2. Freeman, Gattis, and Ugla coming up in the Braves' 10th. Now trailing 6-5 in game 1 of the series. Line drive center field on an 0-2 pitch. 7-5 Mets. Duda stops at second base. Murphy continues to punish left-handers. And that's all for Luis Avilan.
Wasn't an awful pitch. It's a big sweeping breaking ball. It looked like he was kind of looking for it. 0-2. Got enough of it.
Tonight, there have been 6 of them since the start of the 8th inning after Mike Minor went 7. For Guerin, 16 games now. He's been busy and he's been awesome. And he'll try to take care of David Wright and the Mets, who have struck for 2 runs with 2 outs. All of this trouble starting with a 2-out walk to Jordany Valdespin. And Wright with a line drive to short on the very first pitch. So Guerin gets David Wright, but New York gets the lead. A 2 spot in the top of the 10th makes it a 7-5 game. Baxter is in the game. Baxter takes over in right field. Valdespin is in now at second base. And that's Yuri's Familia.
His first ever save opportunity, let alone his first save, perhaps. Started the season with the Mets, then got sent back to Las Vegas after one outing and was called back up April 17th and is not allowed a run in his 3 outings since then.
After the Braves come back, we hope in the bottom of this 10th inning, we'll present Braves Live with our friends from AT&T. Freddie Gonzalez's post-game comments, locker room sound, and highlights from the game. So many things to talk about tonight. This game really dissolved against the Braves after Mike Minor left the ball game. Mike gave up 3 runs in the first 2 innings. After Lucas Duda led off that frame with a home run, he retired the last 18 Mets in a row. Then in the 8th inning, Braves went to their bullpen. Eric O'Flaherty gave up a home run to Marlon Bird. Craig Kimbrell gave up a home run to David Wright in the 9th inning. And the Braves have used 6 pitchers to get 9 outs tonight in relief and trail 7-5.
This guy's got 6 walks in 6 innings. And while he throws 94 to 98, make him throw it over the plate.
He's a kid, just 23 years old, out of San Cristobal of the Dominican Republic.
Thing you got to keep in mind here if you're Freddie Freeman is you cannot hit a 2-run homer here. He needs to get on base.
Ball 2.
The moves in the top of the 10th inning were the right moves for Terry Collins to get the lead, but he had to sacrifice Bobby Parnell to do it. That led to getting the lead. Now he's got to live with a young man who's never had a save opportunity before.
Freeman rolls over the top, bounces to Ike Davis at first. 1 away in the Atlanta 10th.
Young man with pretty good stuff. Nice sinker there to Freddie. Probably ball 3.
Gattis. Gattis gave this crowd a charge in the 8th inning. A 1-out home run lasered over the center field fence that put the Braves up 5-4.
Has not pitched in a game that the Mets have won all year.
Wicked breaking ball. Has Gattis behind now. Ball and 2 strikes.
Kid's got some pretty good stuff.
Yeah,
First impression.
You got to give him that one. Good breaking ball.
He laid off. It's now 2 balls, 2 strikes. Take a walk. Gattis 1 pitch away from that, perhaps. 3-2.
I don't think Buck would dare call for a breaking ball here with a 2-run lead.
Fly ball to right. Baxter just checked in and handles without trouble. 2 outs in the 10th inning. And Dan Uggla, the final Braves hope. He's 2 for 4 with 2 singles. Steve Wright 1. Wow, 0-2.
Very impressive.
Yes.
He's throwing his breaking ball for a strike. He wasted a couple to Gattis, but just to try to get him to chase. But when he wanted to throw it for a strike so far, he's done so.
And you wouldn't know that Uris Familia has never saved a game. That was very impressive. 3 up, 3 down. The Mets stun the Braves and win 7-5. Your final score. David Wright really stuck the dagger in and twisted. Back with more from Atlanta right after this.